All right, we are back for the weekly wraparound after week 8 of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. This is Hockey Hype Australia. You can find us at hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au, on the socials at Hockey Hype AUS. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So please subscribe to the YouTube, like, share, comment, all that sort of stuff, all the good stuff to help us grow and also help the sport grow. I'm Andrew McDougall, joined with Gordon Goodenough every week. It seems like we're pumping out these podcasts now since we've come back non-stop. And we're also joined by Brisbane Lightning women's head coach, Matt Meyer, who is live on the scene in South Korea in Gangwon at the Winter Youth Olympics. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gigi, Andrew, appreciate you guys having me on.
So what? No, yeah. I was just gonna say, what's it like being in? It's like 30 plus degrees here. What's it like in Gangwon?
It's cold. It's it's been 8 years since I was in a Nordic climate. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, so I'm supposed to be used to the cold weather, but I'm really not enjoying this. We had probably 2 inches of snowfall last night, and then today it's bitterly cold. The wind's blowing. I think it's minus 11 with the wind chill, so it's quite brisk. And I desperately want to go back to Queensland. Yeah, it's pretty cold.
Well, I'm a Calgary Flames fan, and I listen to a lot of their podcasts.
So yeah, I'm out. I gotta go. Can't do it. Leafs,
and I do.
Flames, you guys are dead to me. I gotta go.
I do know that the weather in Alberta has been absolutely brutal lately. Just listening to the podcast, they're talking about it. So you're probably in a better spot in Korea.
Yeah, I mean, they get these Arctic depressions, right? You get these insane temperatures of minus 51, and you're like, that's not human. Like, you can't live like that, right? But somehow you do. But I'll tell you what, you get into the 30 plus degree weather and you live in a subtropical place like Brisbane, and man, you never want to go back to that ever again. So yeah, happy to be out of there.
Well, while Brisbane's warm, you've got 38, GG. We've got less than 20 and cold here in Victoria. So yeah, a bit jealous. We did say that you're live on the scene at the Winter Youth Olympics with the 3-on-3 women's tournament. The women started out all guns blazing with a 6-1 win over the Netherlands, which was awesome. Played 2 more games since then, a 12-2 loss to South Korea and a 15-4 loss to Italy. What's the scene like over there at the Olympics?
Honestly, it's pretty electric. To be here where the 2018 Olympics were hosted, all the infrastructure is state of the art. The facilities are fantastic. Organization, I mean, everything going on here is an experience that these girls will never forget, and they're really blessed to be here and participating, and for all our athletes across all disciplines. So Australia has a massive following. I think every player on the ice hockey team has at least one parent here. Most have several. So our stand section is actually really cool. We've got heaps of Aussies, and a ton of the other athletes come down and cheer the girls on when they play. And it's been a fantastic experience. I mean, obviously coming in as one of the lowest seeded teams in the group, playing against some of these powerhouse teams that have been doing this for years and are ranked higher than us in the IIHF. Been in 1B for a while. We're definitely the underdogs. So to come up with the Netherlands and have that win early on was great for the girls. But even still, I watched that game live and I could see we still had some holes in the 3-on-3 concept in game. And those cracks really opened up when we started to play like South Korea, who have obviously trained this discipline very well. We did a shot count, unofficial shot count, but we were outshot 92-30 against South Korea. So in a 45-minute game, we had 92 shots on. And then you think about that, and it's insane. I don't have the patience for the time to go back and count how many shots they saw today against Hungary. Hungary being the top seeded team in the div, they just they're a weapon. They just absolutely rolled us. Very, very proud of the girls, though. They probably played their best hockey by far. Positionally, embracing the player-to-player positioning and defending. And we scored a goal against them. So Mexico wasn't able to do it. Turkey wasn't able to do it. China got 3, but China's quite strong. So yeah, really proud of Hannah Cryan there. She got a goal against Hungary. But we ended up losing, I think it was 22-1. So, hard outing for the girls, but geez, they're staying positive. Great vibes through that team. You can see it on the bench. So, the girls are really embracing this experience.
We've just got a couple of comments in the chat. One from Christian Knott. Are you drafting Matt, the commentary team? I think we do need to give a shout out to the fact that you've been providing an unofficial stream, the Matt Meyer Broadcast Network. And Phil Taylor also, thanks for the live stream and commentary, Matt. You've got Gigi and Doogie watching their backs. Thank you so much for providing that. I know we've spoken a little bit about it, but for people who maybe haven't seen a game yet, what's the format? What's with the car horns, and how different is it to strategize?
Yeah, look, it's insanely fast. So anybody that's watched it online, you're probably seeing it at half the speed of what we watch it live. The camera just doesn't do it justice. Essentially, it's a full NHL-sized rink that's split into thirds. The middle third is the 2 bench areas, and then there's 2 games going simultaneously at either end. So there's actually 4 teams competing on the same schedule and the same clock. So it also adds to the excitement because you hear a bunch of cheering going on from the other rink, and you're like, well, we didn't do it. But once you kind of get used to it, it's pretty cool. So essentially what it is, it's a pre-established IHF 3-on-3 format. Every 45 seconds, the girls must change. It's a mandatory change. With about 3 seconds to go in the shift, you start getting beep, beep, beep. It's warning the girls, your shift's almost done. After the 3rd beep, which is longhorn, anybody that touches the puck actually gets penalized. So you want to leave the puck in a position for the next line coming on so that they have some success, right? So instead of just firing the puck away at the other end, you're actually causing a turnover and giving the girls on the opposing team the puck to come and rush against you. So you hear beep, 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 even though you're down on their end and you have some offense happening, you kind of want to send the puck back to your goalie or towards your bench so that the girls can come out and play. Penalties are served the following shift. So it is actually quite rough. They're letting the girls get away with some good contact. They're calling anything on the hands for slashing and that sort of thing. But what ends up happening is the following shift after the penalty happens, that you're playing with 2. So it's a 3-on-2. And that's a lot of space out there. So even though it's, a third of a rink, it's more of a square than a rectangle. It's just, I've seen heaps of shorthanded goals, right? So the 3-on-2, I don't think is that much of an advantage, especially against some of the powerhouse teams. It almost gives them more license to go out and snipe. Some of these girls can put pucks places. It's just fantastic, good skilled hockey. But it's exciting. And then it runs. So then you get a 2-minute break between periods. The girls never switch ends. They always play it at the same end. They got 1 gate. 3 girls can rush on. 2 can come on the second the horn goes for the next shift. The 3rd one isn't allowed to touch until the final player is in the 1.5 meter change zone. So it's interesting. It's different. There's heaps of different strategy to it. Possession is key, and really just having patience. So just trying to go north, jam the puck at the net. It just results in turnovers, and you're defending in the blink of an eye. So it's super fast and really exciting to watch. And
Australia's got a few games left. They play tonight, I think, if I recall correctly. Who was it tonight? It was.
Is it China tonight? China? Or yeah, no? I think it's China tonight, and then we still have Turkey and Mexico. No, it's Mexico tonight, I think. So I think we play Mexico tonight, and then tomorrow we've got Turkey and China. Turkey probably being one of our best shots at another W. Look, I'd love to see the girls win every game here on out, but just looking at the score lines and sort of seeing where we're sitting in the pool, China's a powerhouse. Mexico has been quite strong, very stature-wise big. strong skating. And it's interesting to see where we place on the world stage, even looking at the U18 IIHF tournament that just happened in Europe, and seeing where we sort of position and how we play. It's, we're getting there. Australia is really putting together some very talented girls. And I think on paper, and you look at the individual skill sets, we're there. We just need to learn to play more as a team, and we need to learn to play the systems. And everyone has to realize that individual skill will only get you so far in this game. It is truly a team game. And you need everything from your power forwards and your first line centers right down to your third and fourth line grinders and checkers. Like it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you got to be able to defend as well as you score. So we're getting there. Definitely. It's building. It's great.
Is there one player from this roster that you've looked at playing across these games and thought you're built for 3-on-3, like you play 3-on-3 really well?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to single any of the girls out or make them feel like they've been left out, but 3 girls actually stand out. I think her name is Yo-Yo Messier. I think she's over in Oha. She's playing in North America. Short stature, reminds me, skates like Lindsay Clinic, just absolute great edge work. She's just got fire. I mean, she's in there. She's probably drawn way too many penalties. But I love the edge and all the way she plays. Great with the puck. Captain Baker, excellent, smart, very mature decisions on the ice. The way she moves the puck, the way she sort of quarterbacks and communicates with the other girls on the ice. She's got a bright future in the sport. And Georgia Watts is another one, as far as, reading and transitioning from offense to defense and how quickly she does that. Strong on the puck, strong stature, great shot. So those 3 players together to me have been the standouts. And again, not to say that the other girls aren't at that level. Just for me personally, just watching them, I really enjoy the way they're specifically playing. So, and I think that's a core good group of to build a team around for sure.
Just a few more comments. Sarah Doramaja listened to Matt's commentary today. Also, thanks, Matt, for providing the live stream for us. You're certainly making a lot of friends with your live stream skills. Jared Arps, shout out to Remy, who was watching your show, and Jaden Ryan confirming that it is Mexico tonight as well. So, yeah, talk us through a little bit. You mentioned about the goaltending and about the amount of shots, and the goaltenders never really get a chance to kind of settle or process, goals against it, etc. And you've got, obviously, your daughter Katie is one of the goaltenders, along with Olivia Gargano. Talk us through how the format is different from a goaltending point of view.
Yeah, look, it also depends on the team in front of you, right? And I think when we look at more of a balanced game against the Netherlands, where there was a lot of jockeying for position, a lot of wide drives, pucks coming in from bad angles, the goaltenders were probably a little bit more settled into the game and had more of a cadence to it. Where playing against South Korea and Hungary, it's more of a tidal wave. It just comes. I mean, we counted. I went back and watched the stream because I was just curious to see what kind of shot counts we have. I'm not going to do it for every game, but when we played South Korea, they had like over 90 shots. I think it was 96 shots on to our 30 shots, right? So the goaltenders don't get to change. Every 45 seconds, the players get a fresh set of legs on, and these goalies are out there, and they're just getting hammered and hammered and hammered. And it's, lateral movements, hard pushes, trying to stay tracking the puck and looking for danger. It's just got to be exhausting. I was messaging with Katie, and who's in great spirits. Like, she's absolutely loving this experience. Just absolutely loves it, right? But I was messaging with her. She's like, I think I blacked out at one point during the Korea game. I think I forgot a whole period. Like, it just comes over you, and she's like, it was just puck after puck after puck. She couldn't reset, and it was a fight or flight thing, right? And it was she felt like she was completely buzzing on adrenaline. So it had to be hard. Today, the girls, a good coaching decision, I think, by Remy to split Hungary, knowing how heavy the workload was. And Meyer started, and Gargano went in for the second, and Meyer went back for the third. And just to split that heavy workload up, it was a mission. There would have been, I don't know, 120, 130 shots on net. It was insane. Those girls from Hungary have this dialed in pretty good, right? So, yeah, super pumped for them. They're the girls are getting a heck of a workout, and they're staying positive, and yeah, it's been good.
Just Kristen Schlenker in the chat, just confirming incredible work from the goalies. Super proud of Katie and Olivia. Danielle King, who would know a thing or two about goalies. The mental and concentration required of goalies is insane. And Sarah Doramaja, no physical break for the goalies, but no mental break either. No chance to grab a drink between plays. It's intense. Liv and Katie are doing so great.
Interesting thing on the rules, though. Once the buzzer goes, the goalie can actually play the puck. So as they're in the line change, there have been a few of the more elite goaltenders that have come out and started moving pucks and even tried to take a couple shots on net, which is pretty cheeky. And you're actually allowed to change your goalie whenever. So you could, on the fly, change goaltenders, which would be hilarious. I've yet to see a team do it. I'm dying to see someone do it. It may have already happened. I haven't seen every single game, but definitely hasn't happened in any of the Australia games. But that'd be pretty cool to see a goalie change on the fly.
Are the goalies allowed past that red line that's in the middle of the ice? Like, is it the same restrictions as NHL or not?
I don't know specifically. So I got a little double IHF sort of book. Each one of the parents got one. Well, the players got them, and then of course the parents probably read them. And I was just really curious on the format, and I don't think it specifically says you can't, but Katie tells me you're not allowed to. I'm like, go for a skate, it'll be funny. But no, they won't let them do it. So.
Tara Baker was named the flag bearer for Australia. Also got the opening goal for the tournament. Have you had a chance to talk to Tara about being the flag bearer and sort of what it means to her? Have you had that chance at all, or have you heard anything about how she felt from Katie or anyone else?
No, look, well, Kate, like, the girls are tight. The girls are in this village. They're bunked up 4-door room, and 4 share a bathroom. I think it's two in each sort of little cubby, and then they share a bathroom. There's 4 of them, and they're on lockdown. We've seen the kids twice now since we've been here. And understandably, they're here to do a job. Absolutely. There's very limited interaction. You don't want anybody getting sick and all this other stuff. So I think we've had 2 rendezvous with the kids, and it's been 10 minutes at a time. So at that point, you're just focused on your own kid, right? You're playing dad. And, it's interesting. I'd love to talk to these kids and see what it's going through, but what an honor, to be a flag bearer. The opening ceremonies was fantastic too. The kids really enjoyed that experience. There was a heap that happened before they started televising it, so it was cool to be there for that. And big sold out arena. And yeah, I can only imagine the pride that you'd feel. It would be overwhelming to carry that flag in for your country, and yeah, just an absolute honor, I would imagine.
And the way that the Australia qualified, often at other Olympic events, there's a qualification process, and you need to, play your way into the tournament. With this, from what I understand, it was based on the rankings of our under 18 women's team and under 18 men's team. So we genuinely earned the right to participate. As I understand, it was kind of the first ranked team. It was kind of like a draft. And there were the 4 hockey formats, the traditional 5v5 and 3v3 men's and women's. And then they kind of picked and chose. So who knows in 4 years' time which tournament we're going to be playing in. But from your perspective, like for me, when I look at how the under 18 women's team is doing, I was like, this is the best format for us to be in. But is that kind of what your thoughts, or what's kind of your take on that? Is there another hockey format you would like us to be participating in at the World Youth Olympic Games?
Yeah, look, it's I like the format because it gets more involvement, it gets more exposure, it involves more countries. If you go to a classic, 3-period stop time, 5-on-5 format, it really limits, it puts people on the out. So I think it's really clever. The Youth Olympic Games is all about inclusion, right? They want athletes to come in, they want them to buy into the process and really feel the potential and inspire them to keep going with their dreams. And they do really well at that. They've done a very good job, and it's all about positivity. And it's even hard to find statistics. They don't put up shot clocks. It's not about that, and they just want to be there to support the kids, because obviously this is going to foster something and maybe ignite a fire in them that's going to drive them to go to the next level. So the AOC, the Australian Olympic Committee, I mean, this is all run by them, and hats off to them. This is the largest contingent that they've ever had go to an Olympics, and they're very proud of that. Almost doubling in numbers, I think. You can fact check me on that. I can't remember exactly what it was the last one was, but bringing in the hockey team virtually doubled the contingent. So Australia is very proud to have the numbers that they have here, and I think the format's great for us. I still think that the classic 5-on-5 hockey development, we're lagging a little bit. I think you guys have alluded to it in previous podcasts, and we see it in the men's group. We see it across all age groups, that when we happen to have a crop of exceptional players, we do really well that year. And then we may regress for a year or two, and we sort of bounce back and forth between divisions, and we lack consistency. And I think, if IHA were, if I were at the head of IHA, which I'm definitely not ever wanting to do that, but 3 things: get more ice time for our athletes. That's critical. Like, we don't have enough ice time in this country. We've got the skill, we've got the desire. We don't have enough ice time to hone our craft. They need to develop more on officials. We need better officials across the league. We see it in the AW, we see it in the AI. We need to continue developing our officials, because it has such a critical component of the game. Coaches, we've got to be investing in coaches. Did you get your coaching cert, by the way?
No,
were one of you going for your coaching certificate? Oh, okay.
No, and that was Andrew Egan. Andrew Egan. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we need to develop our coaches more. We got to put a huge investment in our coaches, obviously, and then really money. We need to find sponsorship. Money drives everything, and I think you guys have raised it on previous podcasts with different guests that, financially, this is a really expensive sport to play. The girls are over here, fully funded by the AOC. It did not cost any one of these athletes to come over here and compete on this international stage at the Youth Olympics $1 to be here to play. They've got snowsuits, winter jackets, puffers, meals, accommodations, flights, everything in. Costs nothing. And that's how it should be for all our ice hockey athletes, I think. Anybody going to a double IHF event, the fact that they're paying $5,000-$6,000 out of their own pockets to go and play really limits the amount of people that have the ability to go, right? I mean, now it comes down to not only are you good enough, but can you afford it? And we need to be looking for massive sponsorship or government funding. That's a big piece of it here to try and really just keep these athletes going, especially when they get to that 18, 20, and then open age groups. It becomes very hard. So, but great potential. You see it across the country. There's so much skill.
Yeah. If anyone has any questions for Matt too, if you're listening, watching, put them in the chat. Here's one from Jared Arps. Hey Matt, being a goalie parent and what you're saying with the excessive workload of a 15-minute period in this format, do you see there being a crossover between good development and just hanging in there with the goalies?
Yeah, great point. Katie, and again, I don't know, I haven't actually met Olivia at the tournament yet. Again, we're pretty limited with our exposure, but talking to Katie, one of the things that she said to me was, thank God I went to the gym so much. Like, just having the ability to hang in there physically. I mean, anybody that hasn't ever put on goalie gear, and I've done it once and I'll never do it again, and try and move around for an hour, flopping like a fish out of the water and trying to track a puck, and there's a certain level of athleticism and just sort of freak. You got to kind of be weird, right? And I've got 2 goalies. My son's also a goaltender, and Katie's a goalie. And Yeah, they're weird. You know, that's normal. They wouldn't mind me saying that either. But athletic wise, you know, you're not. It's just different. And this format specifically, raised by Jared, like it's totally outside what a normal goalie would be expecting. And I don't know if there was a lot of sort of coaching in that aspect with her from the team, but it's one thing that we continued to talk about was like it's you to get no rest. You got to be able to go hard for 45 minutes with really no break. So she trained specifically for it, and you know I think it's showing. So.
Just Sarah calling you out in the comments, and then 2 of your kids became goalies, Matt.
What did she say? Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I'm the weird one, right? But
and then Andrew Egan, good point. Important to cultivate these opportunities. If you pull on the national colors, we need to be in a position to not have people miss out because of funding. Well, that's the goal.
Absolutely.
That's the dream.
Well, and also you look at the A-Dub. Like I don't want to switch too quickly to the A-W, but we miss out on girls all the time because they can't afford it, right? There are some very talented hockey players that have to make a choice between putting food on the table and making a car payment and a mortgage payment versus playing ice hockey. And the Brisbane Lightning this year, and again, I'm not pumping our own tire, but this should be the mandate for all teams. Our girls will probably be under $1,000 a player this year. We went out and we beat the doors hard. We found lots of funding. Huge thanks to City Fertility. Big sponsor, DFI, my business has put a bunch of money in. We got a heap of sort of bronze level sponsors that all got money in. And Meet at Billy's, who was supporting the men's team, is also supporting the women's team. Like without them, you know, and we have some members of our team that would not be playing if it wasn't for them. If they make it affordable for us. So it's the key. It all comes down to the almighty dollar.
Yep, I was on Triple R Radio in Melbourne recently, and it was one of the things that I mentioned to the 2 hosts, getting funding, and we're talking about national teams, and sometimes you can't capture the whole pool of talent because some players just cannot afford to travel or pay for the travel and all that sort of stuff. But it is a good segue, though, Matt, into the A-Dub from the weekend. I'm not sure how much you got to watch of the games across the weekend at all, being over there at the Olympics. But the Lightning, your Lightning went to Adelaide and unfortunately couldn't pick up a win, walked away winless. Our game, Gordon, that we commentated on Sunday especially, I felt it was a power play opportunities that Adelaide took. And there was also just a dip in that second period where the Lightning couldn't get going. But other than that, I felt like it was fairly even on the Sunday game, especially with chances and shots on goal. I'm not sure how you've seen it, but that's sort of how I've seen the Lightning on the weekend.
Is that for me or Matt?
Yeah, I think it was for both of us. GG.
Well, I thought the Lightning were missing Shanita Crompton. I think her skating ability, her ability to create room in the offensive zone for her teammates was missing. Jamie Goonan as well being out. I thought, I haven't seen, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Matt, I might be way off, but I'm used to seeing Alison Carlisle and Katrina Rapchuk pretty much glued together as a pairing, and they were kind of split. They had one was playing with I think Rapchuk and Dixon were together, and it was Hokut and Carlisle. I think Goonan being out kind of meant that there was a bit of a scramble on the back end, or a bit the rotation wasn't the same. And of course, missing Katie was a loss, although Tracy McIntosh did well. But yeah, that was, and Georgia Watts obviously missing made a difference. But what did you see from a kind of a coach's vantage point? What did you make of the weekend for the Lightning?
So first, you guys did a great job calling the game. I think, Saturday, going back to Saturday game, obviously you have an early travel and the girls got ready and the way they went. And there was a last minute pull out with Neats, with Crompy there, unable to fly. So that really threw us in a bit of dismay, but shout out to Aaron Rapchuk and Alex Higgins, the 2 coaches that went the team this week, and they did a great job pivoting and just managing with the assets that we had. And I think defensively, we obviously it was a mix this weekend. Lisa McMahon, who's normally a forward, stepped back, played defense with us, so we ended up having 5 defenders down there. She got limited ice time on the rotation, just having a 5th D, but she did great. So shout out to her for being able to fill those shoes. But yeah, no, nothing was really our normal this weekend. Both our Poulin and Nightline were completely jumbled. Decker obviously then was pillaged to try and make it all work out, and so having all these lines just completely mixed. And I know we've been training that way since Christmas, but it doesn't have the same flow, right? I'm very proud of the girls. We played very well. I think your summary is accurate. It was a very, very close game. Scoreline doesn't really indicate how close it was, especially on Sunday night. I mean, normally we're a special teams powerhouse. I think we're excellent on the kill. We've killed off so many penalties this year. Our PK girls are I think among the best in the league. Of course, I'll say that, but I truly believe it. And to go 3 for 3 on us there, it was heartbreaking, right? And shout out to Tracy again, doing a back-to-back. That's hard, especially on that short turnaround. We have a late afternoon game and an early morning game. It's even more difficult. It's amazing how much those extra 6 to 8 hours actually help you. So all in all, super proud of the girls, the way they went down there, never have any quit or give up. And in instances like this, from a coach's perspective, the table's starting to get set for finals. We're kind of seeing what's going on. There might be some movement in the ladder here and there, but no offense to Sydney, but this is looking like we know who's going to be the Final Four. So from a coach's perspective, I think when you start to see players pushed outside of their comfort zone, it helps you understand your assets better. It helps you realize what weapons you have and the tools in your toolbox, and that you can pivot here and move there. And injuries are going to happen on the weekend, and players are going to have funks, and people are going to let other players live in their head. And so there's all those things that you need to be able to adjust for. So when I watch games like that, and I'm going to go back and watch those games again and again and again in details, I love rewatching the games and really seeing through that. There's a few girls there that really stood out to me as far as lifting to a new level. So great learning opportunity as a coach, great learning opportunity for the players. And again, it speaks to our bought in mantra. Everybody on that team just works for each other. We have each other's back, and it's great to see them go out and compete.
I thought Tracy on Sunday, when you went down 2-0, I thought Tracy was outstanding and really kept us in the game with some terrific saves. Yeah. One of the things I've asked Tracy Hokett before, do you feel like that your team plays with a certain edge to their game? Because when I watch someone like, say, Emma Wuthridge, who we're going to talk about as well, she's a real no-nonsense sort of player, doesn't take a step back and is not afraid to sort of get into the gritty stuff. Do you feel like that your team plays with an edge like that?
Absolutely. That is our identity. Yeah, no, we will be first to the puck. We want to win every puck battle. We want to make pain near the boards. That's what we do. That's what we train for. That's what we want. You start to look towards the PW over there in North America, and you look at the physicality that should be in women's hockey. And I'm going to be really pushing to see those rules adopted here in Australia, in the A-Dub, as far as bringing in an amazing, entertaining, competitive edge to our game. That's what we need to see here. You want to bring fans in, you add those sorts of things, and people will be running to come and watch, right? And that's our style. Yeah. But at the same time, we preach discipline. So I get disappointed when we take silly penalties, and, players know that. They know that we don't, there's good penalties and bad penalties, as you guys know, and taking those retaliatory, typically an official's only throwing one in the box, right? And so, it's okay to go and push the envelope and find the edge, but don't jump over it is a big piece for us, right? So I love players that play with the edge. Emma's playing in North American style hockey. That's how they play in North America. And not just her, you can see it in Allison. Carlisle. She plays North American hockey. Lindsay Clinic plays a North American style of hockey. Courtney Mahoney as well. So these girls that have spent a significant amount of time over there, Neats, she was over there for a while as well. They bring back that certain edge that, that's the game, right? And really, that's hockey. You got to be going down the edge, or you're going to be losing.
Just a few comments in the chat. Alex in Adelaide mentioning Courtney Mahoney was outstanding for me or for him. And then Andrew John Egan, the physicality PWHL has been fantastic. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And the team that obviously the Lightning played was the Adelaide Rush, who picked up back-to-back wins, and they actually move up the standings now back into second position above the Perth Inferno. They play that rink really well, the Rush. They seem to have got back to their game a little bit, GG, on the weekend, of what we sort of expect to see from them a lot of the time, and played a strong sort of forecheck. I felt they played a strong forechecking game, and then they were able to find... And they obviously had a debutant too of a fresh import who looks really good, but they were able to get back to their game and find the goals as well. Nat Ayres was outstanding once again.
Yeah, they were definitely a lot tighter defensively than against Perth. The last... When did they play Perth? Man, that was before the Christmas break, wasn't it? So they led up in that last game on the Sunday. They gave up 8 goals, and I think going back to head coach Joey McDougall taking last season out, if you look at the type of team that Joey McDougall likes to coach in 2019-20 and this season, it's that kind of gritty chip and chase, cycle game, don't give up shots, making sure that you keep teams to the outside. I think they did better this weekend than they did just before the Christmas break.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you thought of the Rush on the weekend, Matt, at all, from what you've seen.
Well, look, I think that every other guest has said it in previous weeks. The league is the best it's ever been this year. Goaltending is the best it's ever been. The offensive power, the defensive structure. It's great to see the game where it's at. And, I know we're sitting there with 3 wins and 2 overtime losses on the season, bar 2 blowouts. And you're going to have those, right? But bar 2 blowouts, we're in every game. And the cool thing about our 3 wins is we've yet to play Sydney, who are winless. And those 3 wins come from each of those teams on top of the ladder. So every one of those teams are beatable. We've held our own against them. I think it's much more even than the current point standing gives it. I think that it's going to be an absolute battle come finals weekend. And I heard you guys last week talking, about previewing a final of the Inferno and Ice, but I think differently. And on that weekend, you guys know, and in that single elimination knockout, you get behind a hot goalie, you get behind somebody who's feeling it, and it's different, right? So the season's important. It helps you peak at the right time, and that's what's critical is peaking at the right time. But the Rush, I think they're a great team. Have all the respect in the world for them. They're deep in goaltending. They've got some scoring prowess. It's interesting. You sort of look at scoring leaders, and Melbourne's got a couple up there. But we're kind of in the middle. The Inferno have their couple up at the top of the ladder. But as far as depth scoring goes, I think us and the Rush are very similar in the sense we've got a lot of, 8, 9, 10, 12 point players, and we can run 3 lines and we can do really well in that regard. So I think we're quite evenly matched. I think we actually match up really well against Perth as well. I think every time we've played Perth, we've run into the wall that is King. She's just been unreal. And, in a lot of respects, every game we've played against them, it comes down to the goaltending. And, when we've won, we've been hot. And when they've won, they've been hot. And, it's such a tight, grinding game, owning the center of the ice. It makes for exciting hockey to watch. Like, we've definitely developed a bit of a, I don't want to say Yeah, we've got a bit of an edge against the Inferno. There's a bit of a thorn in us in the player sides going to play them. There's a different level of elevation when we play them, which is great. It just adds to the game, right? So I'm really keen to see what the finals weekend bring.
And just staying on the rush as well, we did mention just before that we had Regan Petrowski debut for the Adelaide Rush coming over as an import, spent 4 years at Adrian College in NCAA Division 3. Looks like a really, really good player, seems to skate really well, has a good shot, and I think works both sides of the puck as well, which is what really impressed me. There was times there just getting in the right spot defensively and taking away the puck. I know, Gigi, you wanted to show one of the goals, which we'll chuck it up now, and you were impressed as well.
Puck in the corner. Glass. Good cycling shot, and there it is, it goes in!
Which is a nice little snipe there.
Yeah, I would have liked to have shared the goal from Sunday, but that's not uploaded yet by our broadcast partners. We haven't got Matt Meyer broadcast services with us this season. But that was a beauty. She scored another one, I think, with like 9 seconds left in the game. Similar kind of spot. But the goal on Sunday set up. Caitlin Molthano needs more credit than what she gets just quietly, but she set up Petrowski, sprung Petrowski for the goal. She cut in front of net, backhanded over the goaltender. So there were a couple of different ways of scoring. So yeah, it's early, 2 games, but Petrowski looks like a really good import for them. And the chemistry with Maya Tupper, we mentioned it, Doogie. I think I mentioned it to you during the broadcast on Sunday about watching the Saturday game and just the little passes and knowing where each other are going to be was good. I'm looking forward to seeing that for the rest of the season.
Finished with 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points across the 2 games played. Is it exciting for you, Matt, even though you're an opposition coach, to see these sort of imports come into the league?
Yeah, definitely. I think, and again, speaking from our own experience, like having Emma join our team has had a significant impact, and not just on the scoreline. Yeah, she's leading the team in points, but the way she has also come in with, she's quite young still. I mean, I think she's 23, but to come in with that level of maturity, the amount of years of experience. So adding players like Petrowski, and they've got their other import, name is escaping me off the top of my head, but I think she was a Div 3 player as well. But to bring them in with that level of experience and have them come into the team, it really makes it better for everyone. The girls listen to them at practice, they listen to them at training. They're happy to contribute. We do our weekly chalk talk sessions, and you try and get them involved as much as possible because they have valuable things to say. And it's great that we're having that attraction. We're bringing people over to come and play here. And yeah, it just makes everything more exciting. So it's a challenge, right? I think the AW schedule is very, very challenging for imports with the massive break in the middle with no hockey. Obviously with trying to accommodate the women's and Christmas break, it creates a bit of a dead spot. And then also at the timing where they're just sort of getting going over North America as well. And they're sort of winding down on the collegiate side. And so it's hard for us to draw them over more so than the AI. The AI typically are about a month behind, where we just miss out on people completely. So yeah, it's hard to draw them over, but when we do, it has a huge net positive impact.
Does someone like having someone like Emma Wuthridge come over, who's played professionally already, I believe, like Switzerland, and played over Div 1 in the States for Boston University or Boston College, one of the Bostons. Do you how does that impact you as a coach? Like, do you is it like a bit of a litmus test, or like where it's like, okay, is what we're doing similar to what we're doing kind of over there, or how does that kind of work for you?
I think the challenge is sort of being able to adopt your trainings and your line makeups and your systems to players who are used to playing with an entire team full of Div 1 collegiate players together in systems, who have played together for 4 years on the ice 5, 6, 7 days a week, off ice training, psychological sessions, just everything at that level. And then they come over and they're playing with us, where we get 1, maybe 2 ice times a week. We're struggling to find ice to execute systems. And so I think from a coaching standpoint, it's more about tempering expectation and really sitting down with those players and going, this is what we have to work with, right? So how do we make the most out of this? I'd love to hear your opinion on it, sort of thing. And also just getting that feedback, like, did that make sense? Did you guys focus on that over there? Did you talk to your coaches about this stuff? Hey, go and talk to that player and maybe give them a hand, and utilizing them really as an additional coach. But at the end of the day, it's really about getting them to fit in. You take a player who's used to playing with an entire team of that Div 1 caliber, and we've got this huge, skill differential between top to bottom, and we got cadet players and the rest of it. It's a challenge for them to adopt. And in some respects, you almost need to kick them and say, like, no, we need you to do the heavy lifting. We need you to drive that. When you're out there on the power play, we want you on, and they're used to just playing the system with the players similar to them. So it is a challenge to sort of adopt, but I think and I've seen it in the AI as well, players that come over, it takes them a while to get used to playing with that demographic or that makeup of a team, right? So, but once they do, they really hit stride and they go. And we're seeing that with Emma right now. 2 goals on the weekend. Was it 2 or 3? Help me out, boys.
I think it was 2.
I think it was 3.
2.
I think it was
3.
She scored 2 on. She scored 2 on Sunday.
Yeah,
she scored a beauty that I'm just uploading in the background, actually, because I want to talk about this goal, and I haven't told Doogie about this. I haven't asked permission, so this is risky. But I've just I really like this goal from Emma Wuthridge, and the skill involved. Just if we can have a look at this one, Doogie, it's the one I've just uploaded in the.
Yeah, mate, I'll check it up.
Brisbane away here, down the left-hand wing. Here's Wuthridge, has to get around one, goes to the left, shot! And it's a save, Amelia Knott. Beautiful play there by Ruff.
It was actually a goal, but
yeah.
But talk us through what you see there, because for me, I think it's the subtle little things like the faking. She does so much in such a short amount of time. The faking inside, taking it outside.
That little fake, the juke to the inside, like she's going to drive in. Player bites. Obviously, their weight's now transferring to the center of the ice. She throws the arm out, puts the head down, power move, drive the net. One arm out, poke through the goalie. Beautiful goal. And that's such a mature, strong, confident goal, right? And, it's not a selfish play by any means. It's something that we actually do at practice a lot, where it's, let's drive the net. F1, if you don't have the option, you're driven wide. If you can cut and find the middle, go to that net, and let's make sure the F2's there with the trailer looking for the rebound, right? So right on cue, does a great job. And even some of the shots that she took in the other game, where she just basically found that open ice, walked up to the center, found the shooting lane, waited for that player just to pass in front of the goalie's eyes and let the puck go. And again, that's what 5-6 days a week of ice time for your entire life will get you, right? So that level of hockey IQ. So it's great having her around.
So everyone sees the offense, and she's got 8 goals, 8 assists, 16 points from 10 games. She's also leading the team with penalty minutes, and we did touch on it earlier. She got 35 for the season if you go by eSports Desk. And then Sam Brophy is actually up there as well with penalty minutes. Is there times where you've sort of looked over at Emma and said, okay, let's calm it down a bit, or you're just like, nah, you just keep going out there and keep playing your game?
We have an understanding. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of those penalty minutes were inappropriately attributed to her for that slew foot, right?
Yes.
So if you take those out, I don't know if she's still leading the league or not.
Yeah, I've almost completely blocked that game out of my memory from an officiating standpoint. So I don't want to bring that up. I don't want to talk about it. But no, I love the edge she plays with. She defends her line mates very well. She defends her teammates very well. Zero bullshit is allowed when she's on the ice, and you take liberties, you're going to pay the piper. And it's great to have a player like that, but at the same time, it's like, you're here to score goals, sit in the penalty box. So no, she's great. And Sam, same thing. She's just that natural defender, not just from a defensive standpoint, but even from just a defending teammates. And a lot of these other girls, just same idea. They buy in, they have each other's backs. And, Abby Brown's another example of somebody who just doesn't take any crap from anybody. So no, they're a great group. And Emma definitely plays with a different edge.
I think we have a comment there, GG. Before we move on, you're on mute again, GG.
So yeah, Andrew Johnny again, just in there with the comments. Nice hands and drive there. Just agreeing. Thank you, Andrew, for that. Sorry for being on mute for the 7,000th time this season.
The next thing on the ticket, GG, we wanted to talk about was Lindsay Clinic's goal. I'm a big fan of Lindsay Clinic. Every time I watch her play hockey, just the thing that stands out for me straight away is work rate. And I love the fact that Lindsay's not a big person in stature, but I love the fact that Lindsay doesn't mind getting in front of the goaltender and pushing her body around and doing all that sort of stuff when I've seen on the ice. But the goal, I actually thought it was definitely a contender for goal of the year at the end of the season. Just some nice edge work, and then to go backhand with the finish was unreal.
On the right-hand circle now, here's Clinic. Clinic into the middle, Clinic backhanded fire. And it goes in. What a goal by Clinic.
Just an unreal goal. Unreal goal.
Yeah, Lindsay, I got another bone to pick with you guys from your last week's episode. You were talking about the fastest skaters in the league, and you never brought up Clinic. And I'm pretty sure Lindsay would blow the doors off anybody in the league. She's probably going to be pissed at me for saying that, but just to watch her skate, she's at a next level. Her edge work, her ability to deceive and change directions. She's broken more ankles this year than anybody in the league, and she's absolutely filthy to watch with the puck. She's a natural playmaker. Her hockey IQ is probably one of the best in the league, in my opinion. And the finish sometimes eludes her. She often jokes about it. Sort of being that natural playmaker and loving to pass the puck and make things happen. She still loves to score. And so it's great to see her convert when she converts. And she's up there in points for sure. She missed the 2 games against Perth, and we really missed having her over there. And I'm sure she'd be right up there with, Mahoney and Withridge if she'd hit those games. But she is an athlete through and through. She embraces it. She's like from the psychological side of it, from the fitness side of it, from the work rate, as you guys have said, absolute athlete, just a freak.
Yeah, she's top 5. She's top 5 in points, despite not playing as many games as those others that are in the top 5 for the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We need to have a sprint contest.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd, with that comment. Definitely sounds like we need to have a sprint contest grand final weekend. Could also have a skills challenge, be a great exhibition.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So GG, we've seen the coast to coast goal, Kirsty Venus. We've seen Sarah Salmons just bursting away. Then we see that one. Give us your thoughts on that goal. So I just thought it was pretty special.
Yeah, well, I've spoken about since the first week of the season how much Lindsay Kalinick has been impressive. And I think we talked to Matt early in the season where we did talk about that last season. It seemed like she wasn't getting rewarded on the score sheet, but now she is, which is, I think, fantastic. I think it was a great goal. Absolutely fantastic edge work. Probably, definitely top 3 in the league for her edge work. I would be really interested to see a sprint. I think Sarah Salmons and Lindsay Kalinick. Let's get Christina Julien when she's all 100%. Would be fantastic. But it's I don't know. It would be great to have a skills contest. It would be great to have something like that. I don't know how practical that is, but
we'll write an email and send it into the league. Make a suggestion.
Yeah. See what happens.
But
it was a great goal. I'm still backing Kirsty Venus personally for goal of the year for me. Just the I just think that's impressive for a blue liner.
You do like those blue line shots. I think Allison's had a couple of absolute missiles from the blue line as well. But I think to basically walk through 3 players like that and to be able to elevate off the backhand while you're driving through and come back at that angle. I mean, I know I can't do that. That's talent, right? So, and I'm not taking away from any of the other girls because there has been some phenomenal goals scored. Absolute talent on display this year. Again, probably the best we've ever seen it, right? So it's a hard choice to find goal of the year, and they all have their own merits for sure. But just the way you find that hole like that off the back end once you've already slid through, it's pretty special.
We should do something at the end of the season where we kind of clip some goals together and get people to vote. We should get the coaches to vote, and then we should get just everyone in general to vote and just see what we get. I reckon that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, you could do save of the year. You could do exactly. There's a bunch of different things that you could do to make it work.
Yeah, I agree, GG. I'll leave that up to you, mate, to get all the clipping done. The scary thing is Lindsay's only 21 as well, so got so much more growth and maturity in the years to come. But we'll look forward to week 9 now of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. Brisbane Lightning will have a break before they return to action at the start of February when they'll get Matt back and then get a few players back, and the Sirens will travel up to Queensland. This weekend, we've got the Sydney Sirens travelling across to WA to face the Perth Inferno. We've got the Adelaide Rush travelling to Melbourne to face the Ice. Out of the top 3 with the games this weekend, depending on how everything falls, we could have there could be just a total just reshaping of the top 3 after this weekend. GG.
Yeah, I don't remember a time when the top 3 teams were so close together. Like in recent years, it's kind of been the Sydney, Melbourne hegemony. I can't remember where the top 3 this late in the season have been so close. So yeah, it's makes for an exciting finish, I think, for sure. And I think we've talked about too, because Adelaide had that really impressive start to the season. But we spoke about the fact that was it a genuine, were they placed genuinely on merit, or because don't yell at me, Sydney fans, but or was it because they played Sydney 4 times? So I think playing Melbourne is going to be a really strong test. They passed the test against Brisbane this past weekend, like an understrength Brisbane lineup, but nevertheless against Brisbane. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they do against the Ice, and it'll be tough at O'Brien.
And I think as well, looking at the Sydney-Perth game, Sydney hasn't played since before Christmas, where they played the Ice. So it's been over a month since the Sirens have played a competitive game. And they did get the jump on the ice and looked really good. So them travelling across to Perth, anything is possible with a break and a bit of a reset maybe. And if they come out of the blocks like they did against Melbourne, who knows?
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Matt?
Anything's possible. It's hockey, right? Like I actually find that playing with a traveling roster is somewhat easier. Obviously for playoff eligibility, you have certain participation requirements. And so you tend to run a much longer bench for your home games. You have less controlled environment. Players are coming in from home and they were doing things and whatever. But when you're on the road, everybody's together, the team's bonding, we're gelling. I find the road team typically has a better opportunity to win. And I think you see that this year. Obviously not for us this weekend, but you see that across the league, right? It's more challenging playing from home. So I still think Perth definitely will take that one away. They'll be able to give other players some additional experience with the longer bench at home, which would be great for them. So I think the score lines will be closer than some might think. Just my guess. For all I know, Graham loads them up and blows them out. I don't know, but I do think that there's an opportunity there to gain some depth with the teams. I think Melbourne, that's going to be those will be tight. Those will be tight games, right? So I think those are up for grabs, and it really depends on the goalies. The goalies have been extremely important this year in results, and we'll see. It'll be a good battle. It'll be a really good battle.
I do remember, GG, at the back end of last season when Adelaide played the ice at O'Brien, and you could sort of see the wheels starting to turn a little bit for Adelaide, that they actually played hard and played well at O'Brien. So a much improved rush this season at O'Brien as well. So it sets up to be a really good contest this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if we're calling that one or if Todd's going to be calling that one, but we'll see what Sportscast divvies out to us. But man, I'm biased, but that Adelaide Melbourne series is, oh man, that's going to be such a good series to watch.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Hey, I got a question for you guys. When you're doing your commentary, and obviously I did some last year with the Brisbane Lightning men's team. I think I did 6 or 7 home games or something like that with Blair Ivans. And watching it live, it's easy to do. You guys are doing it from 2 different locations and you're following a stream. Like, that's challenging, is it not?
It's had its moments. We've worked it out. We've sort of got a bit of a routine now, don't we, GG? With how we actually call, where you're just, you're doing the play-by-play, obviously, and if there's a break in the play, you leave it to me. We're sort of, even though we're not in the same room or sitting next to each other, we sort of vibe and know when each other is going to talk. We've sort of worked it out.
Good report.
Now.
Yeah, we've got like the Slack chat open, so we're messaging as well, like if there's stuff happening. I know, I think it was, it might have been for one of the Brisbane games, but when I was in Townsville and my internet was crapping out, and I've just got Doogie, and I'm trying everything, mate. I'm trying hotspotting with my phone, with my wife's phone. I'm trying everything. I can't get on, and he's just messaging in the Slack chat being like, I can't do this on my own. So we've had our moments, but it's
throw me a bone here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's been fun. You are kind of limited to what the cameraman deems is important or significant. And I don't know if it's the same in the AI, but the amount of, sometimes the information we get is quite good and reliable, and sometimes it isn't. So, but I feel it's good for us because we're interested. Like, we're going to be watching the games anyway. So we just love being able to be a part of it and to commentate. So it's a real privilege, I feel, anyway. To
you guys take it to a new level every week, so keep it up. It's great.
Thank you. We've got Andrew John Egan. My head's gonna be so big. Enough of these blokes, best in the business. but also suggesting need to put a compilation together. There's been some great coast-to-coast efforts. I love the ones where the player sees the opportunity, drives hard down the line. Yeah. Thanks for volunteering, Andrew. I'll send you through the files. You can chop them up. That'll be great.
No, I do agree, GG. It's good fun to call. Never done it before in my life until this season, but it's just really enjoyable to call the A-dub, and the fact that you're able to, you get a lot of feedback from the players, whether or not it's social media, because I did mention it last week. You follow each other, things like that. They appreciate it, and we love doing it, and it's the most enjoyable experience I've had with hockey here, calling the A-dub and covering it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's nice to get the nice words from Matt as well, and Andrew in the comments. That's it for the ticket tonight, GG. Thanks heaps, Matt, for coming on. I don't know what time the game is where you are, Matt, how far away it is and compared to our time. GG, you might know as well.
2 hours.
2 hours.
I think it's 2 hours from now, puck drop. We're playing Mexico. Yeah, like I said, we've got a bit of a stream buzz happening there. So if anybody's looking for it, feel free to share the stream link. It's totally fine. We're just trying to keep all the bots out of there the best we can, and it's been enjoyable. Lots of great positive comments from everybody. I think that's probably the most struggling thing for us, is just everybody wants to watch it and nobody has a way to do it. So a little bit of piracy and away we go. But hopefully I don't end up in North Korea prison or something like that. That would be bad, but we'll try and do it on the slide the best we can.
And the knockoff merch that you're developing over there as well for the Olympics, where can people find
Oh,
that?
boys, you weren't supposed to talk about that. That's not good. That's not good. I'm not going to get out of here. No, it's if anybody wants that merch, just DM me. I can send you. But anyway, no, it's been great. And honestly, if anybody who's ever thought about coming to Korea, what a place. Just great culture, super great food. Everybody's so nice. I highly recommend it. It's been a great experience.
So it's roughly about 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Yeah,
I
correct.
think that should
right.
should kick off here. I have heard on the
Brisbane, 9 p.m. Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah. I have heard on the grapevine, GG, that there is a new program coming out. It's Hockey Night at Matt Meyer's. So it's that should kick off tonight, I think. So everyone tune into Hockey Night at Matt Meyer's and enjoy the 3-on-3 action.
It's awesome hockey. Anybody that wants to come by, have a look. It's great.
It is good. And yeah, thank you again for streaming it and for the commentary. And thanks for coming on the program and taking time out of your schedule. Like we massively appreciate it. I think just to be able to get someone that's there and knows what's going on, and to be able to spread the word is so massive. So we appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah, no, and thanks for thinking of me. Like, I think at the end of the day, the more exposure we have for these girls, the better. Like, it's just growing and growing and growing. So keep it up, boys. You're making massive positive contributions to the sport.
Yep, cheers. There's one comment, GG, before we go that we've got to chuck up there, and then we'll sign it off.
Curtis Cloister needs to get a Don Cherry suit.
I have a lumberjack plaid shirt that I'm going to wear tonight just for you, Curtis, and I'll make sure it gets on air. I'll throw some old man remarks out as well, some borderline inappropriate things, and yeah, we'll give you the real Don Cherry experience.
It's hockey after dark in Korea tonight. So,
yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Curtis Cloister, love it. And Alex and Adelaide, thanks guys. Thanks for listening to Alex. Appreciate your support as well.
We are Hockey Hype Australia, as you see on the screen, hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au, at the socials, at Hockey Hype AUS, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whenever GG wants to post on LinkedIn, we're there as well. Subscribe to our YouTube, like, comment, share, all that sort of stuff. As we always say, and we said at the start, if you follow us and like our stuff, it helps not only us grow, but the sport as well. And that's what we're in it for. To try and help the sport grow and these athletes as well. So, GG, thanks for tonight. Matt, thank you for tuning in from Korea. We appreciate it heaps. I think people have enjoyed tonight's coverage. Thanks, Christian. And I think that'll do us, GG. And
Yeah.
I'll talk to you probably in about 5 minutes. But
Excited to see what next weekend brings, gents.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.